Hey everyone, welcome to Logan's Mosh Pit. Glad to have you here. Do me a favor and please subscribe if you haven't already. By the way, this is the first video where I get to test out my new wireless mic. Hopefully you all can hear a difference. How sensitive is this mic? The manual said when a frog croaks 3 states away, this mic should pick it up. I put a link in the description so you techies can see exactly what kind of mic I use. New jacket too. My old one was falling apart. Also, the greatest card in the history of birthday cards. Today we're going to do another episode of the Setlist Snubs series. In this series, I'm going to pick a handful of songs from different bands that don't get played live very much. However, I'm going to give you some reasons why I feel like those underrated songs actually deserve to get played live more often than they do. If there's someone specific you guys want me to talk about in a future episode of this series, please leave a comment down below. I'll check your feedback. Today we're going to go through a few underrated Thousand Foot Krutch tunes. Thousand Foot Krutch is a lesser-known Christian rock band that materialized right around the turn of the century. No, you don't have to be religious to enjoy their music. It's not a prerequisite. Since we're all busy, from now on I will call Thousand Foot Krutch TFK. Too bad they don't have JFK's funny accent. Solemnly swear. By browsing through numerous comment sections, I learned there seems to be a consensus among fans backing up the inkling I had when I listened to TFK for the first time. They sound kind of similar to Rage Against the Machine, particularly with their inflection. Not straight up copycats, more like a distant cousin. The point is, if you dig Rage, then this band is probably also for you. Lead vocalist Trevor McNevin's pipes create a special yearning deep in my soul. I compare his singing to trail mix. He doesn't just excel at one aspect. He takes everything in stride, handles passive notes and crazy tunes without breaking a sweat, as if he has been practicing his whole life. Trevor has a lot of control over his vocal range. Trust me, that range extends very far and wide. Before I elaborate on some underappreciated tracks by TFK, let me remind you why all bands, not just TFK, show off certain songs live and keep others under wraps live. I revisit these reasons every time in case a new viewer stumbles across this video, but if you've watched a Setlist Snubs episode before, you basically know these reasons by heart, so fast forward a little bit. The first reason is casual fans are extremely loyal to a band's most recognized tunes. Swinging back to TFK, this means Courtesy Call, Let the Sparks Fly, Move, Light Up the Sky, Scream, etc. Deep cuts and casual fans don't mix with each other. Another reason entails extraordinary pressure branching out from fans and even fellow band members, pestering them to never wander from the comfort of their most beloved songs at concerts. Motivated by the smiles on a crowd's face while they travel down the set list. If fans give a thumbs up to the choices made concerning the set list, then the chances of them buying tickets to future scheduled shows becomes greater. The third reason would be songs that belong to generally written off albums occupying the discography are subject to problems getting noticed, because a significant chunk of the fans in attendance would not react favorably to them. Reason number 4 tells us that once in a while a track they fabricated bothers a band to such an extent that they intentionally omit it from the set list. The fifth reason is all about comparing casual fans to hardcore fans. Casual fans' desires are definitely more important to bands since they represent a much bigger population versus hardcore fans. As a result, for better or for worse, casual fans typically determine which songs are included and excluded live. The final reason involves tunes that are held back by technological enhancements found throughout studios. Unfortunately, venues on the road aren't designed to match those effects, so the results wouldn't be pretty. Now that we've reviewed potential reasons, let's spend a moment relishing in a couple key TFK stats located on Setlist.fm. I'll put a link to Setlist.fm in the description for you. To mosey on over to Setlist.fm, all you need to do is go to Google, type in anyone you want, add tour statistics right after that, and tap on the first result that pops up. Then you'll enter a really fascinating vault where practically unlimited information is stored about songs, albums, and tours. According to Setlist.fm, TFK commenced touring in 2001. Along the way, Rockfist has stacked up the highest amount of on-stage time, at a grand total of 353. To put this number in perspective, imagine you were tasked with listening to Rockfist 353 times in a row, non-stop, without any breaks at all. How long would that take to do? Well, try 56,833 seconds, or roughly 16 hours. Putting our stats in the rearview mirror, let's move on to my list of 5 underrated TFK tracks, each from a different album. 3 of them have yet to debut at a show. I'll put a link to all 5 songs in the description as well. If you're a seasoned TFK fan, you're more than welcome to name other awesome deep cuts in the comments. What better place to start than the title track from the Art of Breaking album? It has a 54 label. For comparison's sake, this means the Art of Breaking has been performed 15% as frequently as the leader, Rockfist. I love the gritty palm muting they tossed in. Each verse admits rap vibes, full speed ahead, then in contrast the chorus mellows out. You get the impression that the main character of The Art of Breaking longs desperately for a caring person to tell them everything will be okay. Trevor did an incredible job selling these corresponding emotions. It's vital when you write a song to make your target believe you truly feel that way. The Art of Breaking passes that test with flying colors. Nobody will listen to this song and say, I don't buy it. Next, I went with Forward Motion, found on Welcome to the Masquerade. Forward Motion has been forwarded from the studio to live venues a lowly 25 times. This song and I click, in a deeper manner than the other 4 choices on my list. It seemed like the goal of Forward Motion was to increase serotonin levels. Therefore, when you feel down, battered, and broken, try this song out. The guitar came across as very eloquent. Meanwhile, the vocals were sympathetic, drums sounded substantial, and the lyrics hopeful. Nowhere near a one-and-done tune. Instead of going over your head, Forward Motion speaks to you, encourages you to keep going, a message everyone needs sometimes. After Forward Motion, a song called All I Need to Know butts in, derived from the End Is Where We Begin album. This was actually the first full-length TFK album I listened to. Convinced me to join their fan base. So I would say this album means the most to me. Sadly, All I Need to Know and the upcoming 2 tracks share something awful in common. So far, all 3 haven't been introduced at any shows. I hope that changes soon. Anyway, All I Need to Know absolutely qualifies as the most moving of the bunch. Trevor laments how, despite the dizzying progress humans have made to understand the world around us, how the human mind works is far more complicated to decipher. I agree with that. I mean, why can we remember the full lyrics to a random song but forget why we went into a room? Overall, this was a gorgeously delivered melody that really inspires some personal reflection on the listener's part. Next, Inhuman burst through the door, manifesting on the Flame in All of Us record. Like I gave away earlier, it hasn't gotten a chance yet live. Inhuman displays pretty forceful behavior. You can squeeze it into the amped up category. Such a simple but savage riff paired to ravaging vocals. I want to do a guitar cover ASAP. That's part of the reason why I view this as a missed opportunity for TFK. I'm sure Inhuman would drive fans into a frenzy live. A brutal piece of music right here, too fine to be held back. Finally, I Climb completes this list, debuting on Phenomenon. Maybe with enough support it can climb out of the zero pit too. I think the best thing I Climb has going for it is the calculated pacing. You know, I climb so high, this time I'll try. That spacing. It almost places a bold font on the lyrics. Plus, that chorus sounds so catchy. I Climb can be summed up as an earworm. A song that sticks with you. You can't listen to it enough. Regardless of the 0 mark, I happily recommend it left and right. That does it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate the support. I'll see you next time. Until then, rock on.